Did it get that? That's the beginning. I'm
Yeah.
just so cynical right now.
Oh, honey, all of us are fucking cynical. Uh, Hello, everybody, and welcome to Lost in the Groove. We haven't done this in a while.
Welcome to Lost in the Groove, where you can be yourself.
Yes, I'm your host, Dave, and we have our lovely.
I guess I'm a co-host here.
Yes. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Karissa.
Ooh,
I'm here to open up to you, tell you
yes,
everything, share my
yes,
life with you.
yeah. Open those goddamn guts, honey. Woo!
Yeah, it's really a lot easier to open up to people anonymously. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I feel like it's scientifically proven.
Well, I feel like it's also like those like fuckers that are like online and then they like report somebody, because like when you report somebody
Oh,
online, like it's all anonymous. So, you know, it,
yeah, people are like reporting everybody. I got I got in a huge Facebook predicament just a couple of days ago, and somebody actually called out the podcast and used our podcast against me. I didn't even tell you about this. Like,
ooh, I want to hear this.
it was just the craziest thing. Like, there's this one guy that just like constantly posts just like derogatory shit about Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
And like everybody's entitled to their own opinion,
Right.
hate on stuff if you want or
Yeah.
whatever. But like I was just like, just so you know, it is kind of rude to say that the Bible's just a bunch of blah blah blah. Like I was like, I mean, like you're entitled to do whatever you want with your own Facebook, but I find it a little offensive for you to just say it's a bunch of blah blah blah. Like I'm like, like I don't know if that's like appropriate in this day and age. Like, of course, like if you're a comedian or whatever, but like if you want to be friends with me, like please don't openly talk shit about my religion. Like
Correct.
I just think it's mean. Like it's definitely not what I stand for. Like I stand for, people having their own religious beliefs and not being shamed for them or something like that. It's just like I don't know. And I just kind of felt like he wouldn't be talking that kind of shit about like a Buddhist person, or he wouldn't be like talking shit about the Torah, but he finds it totally okay to just talk shit about Christians. And I'm like, dude, that's still just not cool. Like, to me, at least, it's not cool. And I was just like, you need to just like, I don't know.
Wait,
And
so
so then
how do we get dragged into like how did the podcast get
Yeah.
dragged?
Yeah.
I
And
gotta
so
hear
then
this.
he was like, okay, I'm high. So I'm going to try and like actually
Not
remember
high
how this
yet.
happened.
Let me catch up.
Well, I'm going to get more high and then you have to catch up with that.
Oh yeah,
So
fuck yeah.
I don't know. But I said that it was rude to just like blatantly be like, the Bible's a bunch of blah, blah, blah. It's like, you're entitled to your opinion. But like, dude, that's, like, I don't know if you should be talking shit about people's cultures. Like, it's just, and then he was like, culture is geographical. And I was like, what? I was like, well, what the fuck? Like, but I didn't even get into that. I was just like, because he wrote me back like a big ass paragraph when I basically just said that I was offended. And then I didn't look at anything for like a day or two. The motherfucker went through my profile. I hardly know this guy. He went through my profile, commented on like a whole bunch of things that I've said over the past like year, and then like tried to point out times where I've talked shit about other things that people liked. And I was like, dude, like there's one post where I said something about how I don't really like modern architecture. Like I was like, this shit sucks. But it's not all modern architecture. I was just kind of like,
I mean,
I don't like I don't like it in houses. Like I think that modern architecture has its place, but for homes, for me, I don't really like it. I'm not
more
saying that the artists aren't talented that created it or whatever. Like I'm just
right.
saying like I don't like it. And so he wanted to compare those two things to each other like, "Oh, it's rude to talk shit about modern art." And I was like, "Dude, okay, one is a religious belief and why are these two things don't compare to each other?
I mean, like
Like
we're both like I can say this, like I like Floyd Wright's. You know Floyd Wright, the I think his name's pronounced Floyd.
Frank Lloyd Wright. I
Frank Floyd
love
Wright.
him. He's like
His
one of my favorites ever. I like his modern architecture
it's
with
beautiful.
homes. Very beautiful, well thought out. Lots of, it's really cool. But like, I don't know. He just tried to find the one thing where I spoke ill about something and then make it sound like I'm just like him. And
Hmm.
then he was like, oh, and you want to defend religions. Well, look at your podcast. And then he like posted something and I was like, excuse me? My podcast is like, plus it's not mine, but
It's
I
my
was like
podcast. Yeah.
the podcast, David's podcast. I don't know what he's thinking. He's like your podcast. But I was just like, okay, first off, the co-host or host is my friend David is Jewish. So I'm like, what exactly? Like, what?
I mean,
Because I think
I am circumcised. I mean, my dick has been chopped, so I am very Jewish to add.
so. I'm like, and our podcast is very accepting of different religious beliefs, and we don't talk shit about other people's religious beliefs.
No,
So what is wrong with the podcast here? Like, I'm like, okay, like, how does this apply to you just talking shit for no reason? And then like going through my posts of the past like 6 months and trying to like pull things out and ridicule me. I was like, you're freaky. I block you. I didn't block him. I just unfriended him. But I was like, I don't need any of this shit in my life.
I mean it's kind of like we've seen this a lot, and like this is by far I think one of the biggest problems with the woke movement. To any listeners that's curious, when I refer to the woke movement, I'm referring to the type of people that have this ideology of where you're right, and if another person's opinion is against yours, you must do whatever you can to destroy them. Okay. We're talking about cancel culture. We're talking about, exclusion culture. We're talking
That guy
about,
got so savage on me.
yeah.
Like he just like fucking like it was like insane. Like he just went full-fledged bully.
But that's what
And I've seen it
happens.
happen a lot where
But
it's just
girl,
like I can't speak up for my own religion. I'm not
girl,
allowed to.
do
Like
you,
it's crazy that these people act so woke and then I can't
yeah.
even stand up for my religion to them. And I tried to point that out to him where I was like, would you do this to another person or are you just doing this because I'm Christian? Like it's not okay to do this to anyone's religion. Like it's just not.
We've said this before on the podcast, and I'm a very strong believer. And I actually have a TikTok video of this. You can respect somebody, okay? But you don't have to agree with their opinion. And
Yeah.
if you're somebody that can't understand this idea, try to picture this, okay? You're sitting there at a family table and you have some dumb fucking uncle that gets up and says, "Make America great again." Okay? And you know what you could respond with? That's great. I don't support Trump. I hear your opinion. I'm happy for you. Or you can respond with, "He's a Trumpy. Fuck him. Screw him. Motherfucker." Like you can go all out fucking batshit crazy on this person. And for
It
what?
probably like makes them more driven.
But it's not, it's like, bruh, nobody's got to fucking agree with you, man.
I can't believe people who ruin their family relationships over shit like
Oh,
that.
yeah, fuck
Like,
yeah. Look
that's
at this guy.
crazy.
Look at
I
this guy.
understand me and my mother, we have different views politically, and I don't fall on either Republican or Democrat side. So we're always going to have different views, like no matter if I was on the same party as her. It's just not going to happen. We're just always going to have a different point of view. And I don't let it ruin a relationship like I could have. And yeah, it makes me feel not good to have my mom not trust my opinion, for her to think that maybe I'm stupid but you have to realize it's happening on both sides. like I know I'm kind of thinking that what she's saying is kind of stupid, or like different things like that. Like I don't know. They gotta stop forcing each other to think the way that they think. I wasn't like,
Sorry.
okay, and if the dude
Sorry.
doesn't think, like, if, like,
Hmm.
all I said was, like, I think it's rude of you to just openly criticize someone's religion. Like,
You
and
think he gives a fuck, girl?
all
Come
he'd have to
on.
say is, I don't care. But instead, or he has to say, like, I don't think it's rude, like, but he wants to go beyond and like bully my shit and like go on and on. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, he must have felt really threatened by what I said. You know what I mean? Like, to go that far. Like, that's just nuts.
You know
Like,
what? Do you know? I once had, and this actually happened in LA. I had somebody that literally said the worst thing to me. He called me a Republican. Okay,
that's not the worst thing ever,
I,
but
I'm, I'm,
maybe
I'm,
for you it is.
yeah, I'm joking though, but like, I was very offended by that, and I didn't like lash back at it
Oh, but I know what you mean. Like, it pisses me off if somebody calls me a Republican because I'm
because
like,
like
hey, don't group me in with those people.
no, like of course not. Like I don't like even with the Democrats, like I don't want to be a part of those groups. Okay, I'm
I don't either
conservative. I'm conservative, and I
in
come from a left
ways.
wing perspective,
Yeah.
and I don't want to label it by a party. It just like going
I
back
wish
to
more people would do this. I wish
no.
more people would just say, like, I'm not involved in those fucking parties. But, that's my own wish.
I respect those people. Like I can understand.
Sure.
I can
Yeah.
understand them.
Okay. Everybody do what they want to do. Like, yes. Okay. I just, for me, like, of course, there's a desire that I wish there were more people that felt how I felt, like where it's just like, oh, let's get away from the tradition, but
Tradition. Sorry.
I just like, okay, I understand the tradition or maybe the reason why we have the luxuries that we have or something like that. I should be appreciative or whatever. I grew up with Republican parents, okay? Like, let's not,
Same here.
they put the Republican guilt in me.
Same here. Same suffering. Anybody out here that's listening and you're feeling the same guilt and pain, our love goes out to you. That's all we can say. Yes.
Wait, do we have listeners? Or I forget.
I forget too. I think we have like a little group of hippies out somewhere in Omaha, Nebraska. God bless y'all. Hope you're enjoying
Omaha?
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, Nebraska football.
Yeah.
Just throw out to my Nebraska fans. And maybe our fans don't like football,
I
I don't
don't
know.
I
Maybe
mean
they do
like we're like the problem is like we're a small podcast. I do know
right now.
right now. I do know that like we have a pretty large female audience. Not female, sorry, male audience. We
So
have a
we
lot
should
of
talk about like vaginas and what
no no
it's
no
like
no
to
no
be a
no. It's the
girl
opposite.
and
It's the opposite. I mixed it up. This dyslexic and ADH brain. Blech.
oh, you're saying we have more guy viewers
Guy
than
viewers,
girl
yeah.
viewers.
But
So we should talk about vaginas and
yeah, and dicks and oh wait, that's for the gay guys. Y'all, we love y'all. We're gonna keep you in here. We'll talk about penises, we promise. But for
we have to
all,
talk about it all, man.
yeah, the dong and the bell. Yeah,
That's my dog Louie.
yes, Louis.
He's bi. He likes both for sure.
He's a bipug.
He's like, I've seen him get down on both.
You've seen your dog get down on both.
I mean, I'm kind of like, stop it, and
I
then
know.
I'm like,
They gotta
stop.
do it, man. They just gotta. Let's retrack
He's
what we
my
were.
child.
Let's retrack what we were saying before because this was very interesting. We were
This is what
talking.
I do, though. I talk into weird little spirals.
I
But
know.
okay, please bring me back. Bring me
Yeah,
back.
yeah. Lily's like. So we were talking about. We were talking about dealing with parents, that come from a political belief. They're a part of the group, like the Republican or Democratic Party.
It was different. The Republican Party was a whole different
Yeah.
thing when my parents joined it. That's what I tell myself.
Before pre-Reagan, everything's pre-Reagan. There's the pre there's the pre. What's after the? I forgot what's after the
It's a
pre.
weird because like for a minute there, the Republicans were like the rebels,
Hmm.
like if we're gonna go Star Wars. And so like that is where my parents joined. And like I don't know that for sure, but that's what I assume is that, my parents wanted to be like different than other people. Like her dad was a Democrat, so like it was like she's being a rebel joining this Republican Party.
It always like baffled. Okay, so like I've talked about this before on the podcast on previous episodes. My parents are interracial. Um, so I'm mixed actually. My mom is white and my dad is from Africa, and my dad came here in his teens. Like we're talking about 14 years old here to the States in 1970.
That's a
Uh,
big adjustment.
yeah, yeah.
Good
It
for
was
him, man.
he did it, and like the thing that always baffled me was I get where he was coming with being conservative because we're Middle Eastern. I mean we hang on to tradition like it's as if like somebody's holding your dick, and like like about to do like that fucking that like weird shit we don't want to see in the movie. Um,
What are you talking about,
I don't
David?
know.
You might have to give us a visual,
No,
explain something that we can
no,
visualize because we're
no.
we're listeners.
Okay. Uh, parental guidance is advised.
Oh, it was advised from the beginning, man. We should just put that at the beginning of every podcast. Like, that was a really good selling point for South Park, I think. Like,
Yes,
it
it
always
was.
opened up with that, just like, this shit's going to be raunchy. Are you ready?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so like basically like all seriousness, like with when it comes to tradition, it's a very important part of our culture. Um, because in Middle Eastern culture, we heavily rely on family. Our
Mm-hmm.
family is our
Yeah.
history, it's our tradition. We pass on food, stories, recipes, companies, businesses. There's so many things that we'd like, if we have any Middle Eastern listeners, like from, even like from Iraq or Iran or Jordan or anywhere, even like Egypt or Libya, there's so many countries. We love y'all. Um, I can like understand like our background because that's how we were raised. And I can get where like my dad was being conservative because like a big part of conservatism is a very big part of, the Islamic and Arab world. Um, but what I couldn't understand was why was he Republican? And I only understood it because of when my dad came to the country. It was around like, the time my dad became an adult was Reagan.
What I
Okay.
hear is that you could understand it. Like that's what you said, is you're like, that's the only way that I could understand it. The
Yeah.
point is that you could understand it, and that's where you and I can relate, is like I can understand it,
Yeah.
like how it started.
That's the point. That's where the
Okay.
respect, that's what we're saying with the respect part is. The respect comes from where you can understand their perspective through your own eyes. That's the point of this conversation, right?
That's what you're supposed to do as a human. I don't
Yeah.
know what's wrong with everybody.
I don't know
Like,
either.
like honestly, like not doing that is in the definition of narcissism. Like,
Yes, it
like
is.
you're supposed to try to see things through other people's eyes. And I could learn a thing or two there too. Like I'm not perfect, but I think it's good that we all pay a little bit more attention to being accepting of people. And I mean, the only way you're going to get through to anyone is by listening to them. Like, I've taken a communications class. Like, it starts with acknowledging the other person's point of view. You don't get anywhere the other way.
You know, we hear this now, and I can say this because, you get ads and it's in the news and it's in the media, the environment, this whole thing with climate change. The one thing that you hear from some people that are famous in the media, like Joe Rogan, and then you have some people not in the famous realm, like you find people on Instagram or you find posts or organizations that put things online, is you can, sorry, you can choose to help the environment. Okay. And it's really crazy because each person has their own capability. The way to fix climate change, the way to fix our earth is if people make, they make their pledge in the best way that they can. You know what? To you, this person can't afford grass-fed beef. Okay. But they're trying with chicken. I'm one of those people. Okay. I'm trying to make a healthier life for myself, but I'm doing it within my own reason and what I'm capable. And I feel great for doing it because I'm trying. But you will have people that will bark like fucking dogs at me. Okay. Like,
and say that you're supposed to go vote for all the different climate-y things.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. I should be out there. And
I recently, because I know you and I are both kind of on this, like, I don't care for voting. I don't know how you feel about it, but like for me, I've had.
But that's your choice. Anyone
who
wants to vote, you
towards
vote.
it. Okay, so I recently got in an not argument, but a good, healthy discussion with one of my coworkers, and we actually both were like, okay, that wasn't an argument. We're like, no, it wasn't. Like, we're fine. We respect each other. And this is what I'm talking about. Is this like, I expressed to her the reasons why I don't vote, and she explained to me why she does, and I respect it. Like, I'm like, oh, that's why you do. I'm like, okay. And for her, it's like, she thinks that we need to go vote for all those little things, but like, she also listened to me when I explained to her why I don't. She didn't tell me I was stupid. Like, she was kind of like, oh, yeah, makes a little bit of sense, but I'm going to do this. And it's like, yeah, I want you to do what you want to do. Like, and that is also another example of my political beliefs, is that I don't want everyone thinking the same exact thing. So I don't want you thinking exactly what I think. Like, this works for me. And that's my other problem with voting on all these things. Why do we vote and then think that the results work for everyone? I understand that it's like, maybe we'll get a generalized idea of how many people and then the majority wins. But like, what the hell? Like, we've created a rule that's supposed to work for everybody in all kinds of different scenarios.
I think the solution...
It's nuts. It's just a freaking country of rules. I'm sorry. Go on.
Sorry, the weed is strong today, okay? I changed the water.
I'm trying to get there. I've been rolling this joint for like, how long have we been recording? Anyways.
20 minutes. We're doing good.
Yeah, well, I've at least been rolling it for about 10.
Good. What was it? What we were just saying. I kind of flipped. Where did you last leave off? You were talking about
just like respecting that people have different opinions than
with the voting. Okay.
But respecting that our parents have different opinions is kind of, it's that whole like, just like letting people be who they fucking are, man.
See, this is a problem. This is a problem in this country where we have a two-party system. And I'm sorry to bust your balls, y'all.
Oh, yeah. You better be like me.
Yeah. But I don't believe in a two-party system. I don't think, first of all, number one, we should all have states being run by themselves. That's number one. Number two, okay, number two, if we want to have a diverse system, okay, a system of cultures, okay, and growth to better our society, we need different ideas. Why do we only have two fucking opinions representing this country?
It just makes so much sense, though, like looking at like just human behavior.
Yes,
like it's always like a right or wrong. Pick one or the other.
Oh,
like,
God.
Oh, I hate it even more. I worry about how many viewers are not going to like us because we're basically just like, I don't like either party. And so like, it's really hard to find people who are going to be like, well, I hate them because they don't like my party.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't like the parties. They do a lot of good work for people, like It's fine. It's good. We need all the different opinions. Like David's like, fuck it.
Mm-mm.
No, I feel you. I just like
that's just like, again, like this is my
I
belief.
again will
Yes.
respect
Yeah.
if people want to be one. It's
Yes.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where that came from.
What is that? I've heard that voice before.
Uh
Oh, is it like the Creole guy? Like the guy from Louisiana?
yeah. No, it's the okay, so like okay,
You
so
have like 6 different characters that you go to
yeah,
every once in a while.
yeah.
And one of them like sounds kind of like a guy that
So
like
yeah,
lives by the water in Louisiana.
yeah, little southern. Okay, all right,
No, no, no. There's like an old businessman too. There's like an old Southern businessman. You like do his voice. He just sounds like he's ready to sell you something, or I don't know. You've got really cute characters, and I just heard one under there.
yeah, I mean, like, okay, so kind of like the background of this is, first of all, me and Chris have like known each other for like a long time, and basically, like I think about like my personality is I have like little characters. And I'm not one of those fucking crazy people that are on psych meds.
No,
Okay.
you're just listening to 2 best friends that really entertained each other a lot during the pandemic.
Yeah, this is like this is what we did. Like, okay, no joke. There was a podcast called No Dogs in Space, and they made as though that they had Nico as a roommate. Okay, so Nico is from she's was a part of the Velvet Underground on their first album, and she was also in Chelsea Girls, which is a movie.
Oh yeah.
Which is a great film if you can ever. I don't believe we can watch it, but if you can, it's a
Why
great film.
not? Why not?
I think it's
I'm
on.
so ADHD.
I think it's on. I think it's on YouTube. But don't quote me on this. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, and this is what happens if you have cannabis. You go into different little corners and places. Woo! Nico, Nico sound like this. Like that's how
Nico
she's.
phone home.
Yeah, it's fun. Nico make breakfast now. Isn't it fun? And
What
that's a
is
thing.
Nico?
She was a German singer, but like the point I was trying to make is like during the pandemic, a lot of us were bored and we just like created little things. And like the thing I did was is create, we called it the 6 little, what did we call? Oh, we called them the 6 little mushroom tops. Was it the mushroom?
Oh my
No, was it the
God.
mushroom tops or the button tops?
Dude, I don't remember this at all.
I don't remember this either. We named them something, but anyway, we're going on a long tangent over here. The point is, there are these.
Yeah, we're silly.
We're silly. The point is, these voices, they will pop up here and there. You'll hear them. Do not be alarmed. I promise, I am not on psych meds. Okay, this is Karissa can back me up over here. I am not on psych meds.
The only voices I know how to do is like a
Yeah.
witch or like a British witch, or I can do like a British guy. I can do Southern a little bit, but I don't have any characters, you know? Like I can just kind of do, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could do. So it's funny. Like we've done. Okay, this is awful. I'm sorry. But
Maybe
maybe you should.
we can always edit it out if it's
Yeah,
really awful.
you can always edit this out. During the like, it's still going on. Unfortunately, it was the Ukrainian war with Russia. We had a running joke whenever Carissa would call me, I would answer the phone as if it was the Russian
embassy.
See?
Okay. The Russian embassy thing, I love it and you love it. And it's not to make fun of Russian people at
No.
all. What it is when you answer the phone, I really want to talk to you, but you won't let me talk to you because I have to talk to the Russian embassy. So, I mean, we could give an example of how it happens. Like, I call you
Yeah.
and I say, David,
Hello, you have reached Russian embassy. It is time.
David.
We are fighting Ukrainian war. Call back later. Goodbye.
No, I called to talk to David. Is he there? It's almost like you're trying to get rid of me. Like, is this, did I just catch on to
No,
this?
no, no. Like
That
the click is a new added on feature. Okay. So we can turn this into a mini clip, Like it's
no, there have
like,
been times that I've tried to talk to David, but the characters are in the way. This makes you sound like even more psychotic or
we
something.
promise there is no psych meds promised. Okay. If you need me to give you a tour of my goddamn bathroom, honey, I will give you a tour.
There's
Actually, my
also nothing wrong with psych meds. You
no,
know, it helps some
no,
people.
it
Yeah.
helps some people, not me, because I'm not on those psych meds.
The the characters remind me of Robin Williams. It is something that Robin Williams would do. Like kind of go into these like, oh honey, you have one that's like very
Well, that's what I
it
got.
does remind me of Frankenfurter. Like you have a character that comes out every once in a while that is like a very glamorous like man woman that's like just like knows the answer to everything is what I get from. Do you know the character that I'm talking
So
about?
for
That's one
like,
of the six.
so the thing like for me is because like I feel like because of my like learning disabilities, um,
Mm-hmm.
my mind is able to process things a little bit differently, I would say. I'm not saying I'm special. I'm not. It's just like I've had to learn to adapt to the world around me. And what I do to be able to adapt to those situations is I create this like experience. So like when I hear Robin Williams performing, I can actually hear the different I'm dead serious. I like I'm not saying I can like actually see his hands moving, but when I see Robin Williams playing like Genie, from Aladdin, I can see his movement. Like I can
You
see
can
what he
see
was
him. Like you see the genie, but you can see
see
him in your
Robin
head.
Williams. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. I'm like that. I can
I think, yeah, there's like an energy level. Like there's like a wavelength that Robin Williams was on. You know what I mean? Like, and I kind of feel like you and I have both been there before.
he inspired me as a kid. I mean, I told you this when he died.
Yeah. Well, he made, the same thing I feel about David Bowie, where it was like he made being different feel okay.
I feel
But
like
there's
the
a lot of people,
I feel
that
like
were in the industry that made a lot of us feel normal or accepted.
I feel like he I feel like a part of the world ended when David Bowie died. There was that energy was gone. Um, and I'm not the kind of person that I like to glorify celebrities. On the contrary, I'm one of those kind of people that I like to see their art for what it is from extremely talented. Like, you know what? Like, little sneak peek. We're doing an episode on Freddie Mercury this month, which I'm trying to get through the chapters. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to make this happen.
Is it a
Uh,
big book?
no, it's not. It's like 200 pages.
Yeah, because
And
I want to read it too so we can talk about it, you
it's an
know?
amazing book. Oh, to me. But like in the
Yeah.
book, you can see that Freddie Mercury, aka Farouk Balsara, um, he he didn't really have an identity. He didn't attach himself to Zanzibar, where he came from, which is now Tanzania, the Republic of Tanzania. He didn't identify as English because he wasn't English. He just happened to live in England. I love that. It's like he created his own identity. I love people that create their own identity. You know what people create their own identity? Musicians, actors, actresses, performers, dancers.
Yeah, that makes me feel kind of nice.
Yeah,
Like, and that's what I'm saying is this like just being kind of different, like watching those actors and stuff. It's always made me feel a little better. But I mean, watching somebody like Cameron Diaz always made me feel a little better too. That's
uh,
my single pervy statement for the evening.
ooh, Daring darling.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about Freddie Mercury.
Yes.
I think that something to know about this podcast is we're gonna talk about music, we're gonna talk about art, we're gonna talk about human struggles, and we're gonna talk about, just like kind of just going against the grain.
We're mostly
And
going
we'll
to be
talk about, passionate things.
we're,
Like,
we're mostly going to be high for most of the episode. So quick warning.
yeah, I smoke a lot. And we kind of wanted to like smoke a lot during the podcast and make it like a sesh. So, I mean, you don't have to smoke when you listen to it, but it is a fun idea.
So quick warning. The following words are allowed on this podcast: cunt, cock, puss, shit, motherfucker, fuck you, shithole, butthole, asshole, bullshit, bullshit motherfucker,
This is
kiss
really
ass.
bad put all together.
Yes.
Ooh,
So
ooh.
yeah, we again address the elephant in the room. Parental guidance is advised.
Do you think
Ooh.
that do you think
Yeah.
that Joe Rogan has to limit like profanity?
I don't think I'm girl, he showed a video of a man fucking an animal.
But do you think that they try not to use the F word?
He says fuck.
No.
He says fuck more than I say fuck in a day in one episode. And that's like 3 hours. And like he just says fuck in every sentence. It's like
It's
fuck
funny
that
because
shit.
like I think to myself, like, would we have a harder time like getting sponsors with like such, behavior?
We more than likely, from what I can see, we more than likely will get attached with cannabis. Probably get like cannabis businesses.
Stizzy, what up?
I have no problem. Like I already spoke with one, and they're like kind of interested. It's one that I get all my shit from. I can't show anything because this will be on YouTube.
I wish that we could get sponsored by like pot itself.
Yeah, pot
That is just like a
brought
really
to you by Pfizer.
actual
Yeah.
flowers pot.
Yeah, only
Like
12 milligrams.
I talked to the weed itself and it said, yeah, you got my support. I don't know what that is. Sponsored by weed.
Yeah, baby.
Karissa and Dave, lost in the groove.
This is like one of my dreams. Okay,
Not funny.
no, not funny.
I love making jokes that aren't funny though. You know that.
Yes, I love that. I'm like, whoa. But like I'm telling you, like I've had these, like I think I'd be a great disc jockey. Okay, I'd be like an awesome DJ.
Hell yeah. If there was
Yeah.
like a skating rink,
Oh yeah.
Oh, David, we should rent a skating rink one time and have you be the skating rink guy.
Girl, I'm serious. If we create an audience, I would like seriously like we would like do
Skate
an
night.
event. Yeah, we like doing an event.
That would be our first event. It'd be like
Yeah.
Lost in the Groove skate night.
Yeah, and I'd be like, get up on the mic and be like, okay, everybody, get your hands. Get your
Can
hands.
you imagine how mad you'd be like at me
Why?
during the planning? You'd be like, God damn it, Chris.
God damn you. Why? What'd you do?
I don't know. I just feel like I'd fuck up while we tried to plan the skating rink Lost in the Groove thing. Like I'd be like, not this weekend, next weekend.
Shit. Or like if you walk in there and it's just like fog and you're like, damn, Karissa, did you put on all those bongs and you didn't have those filters? No, girl. You'd be like, what the hell? You're like, everybody's high here now. Like, oh shit. I'm like, oh shit. How am I supposed to fucking skate there?
Yeah, no one can see anything because it's just a giant pot cloud.
It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. I'm telling you.
A giant pot cloud. No, I like the idea of us having a Lost in the Groove skate night, and maybe we'd do it like 4 times a year.
Legally.
It'd be like a seasonal skate night. We could at least just try it once and do like an annual skate night, you know?
Legally. Remember this, okay? I'm telling you this in advance. We got to do this legally
Oh,
by the
you mean
books.
like there's
Yeah.
something like there's rules to follow? Is that
Yeah,
what you're
fuck
telling me?
yeah.
God, you're always good at like the business side of
No,
things.
I'm
I feel
not,
like
honey.
no,
I've,
you are. Listen to
ah,
you. You're like we should do
ah.
this legally.
Those are
What
just
is
words.
legally? What
I don't
like
know.
what is legally with
I,
trying to
I
throw a skating party with your
um
podcast brand?
making sure minors are not drinking.
Oh my God, is there booze at a skating rink?
Girl, have you met me? There's booze wherever I go. Come
Nobody's come
on,
up with like adult skate rink. You know how they have like the really like fancy ass like bowling alleys? They should have just like a VIP fancy ass like boozy like skating rink.
honey. Okay, girl. If you had that, there'd be problems with the ambulances because they're going to be
Oh,
going
there's
back and
like
forth.
people fall over all the time.
Are you fucking kidding me? If people are like high and drunk and stoned like we fucking are right now,
Dude, okay, I guess I just
they're
have like
fucked.
natural talent. I went skating, like they have a roller skating rink. I love that we're talking about skating. They have a roller
We're
skating
so
rink
fucking
that they
random.
build out at Burning Man. And like the first night we got there, yeah, didn't I tell you about this? It's great.
Okay,
Some
back,
motherfucker made their
back.
dream come true.
Okay,
He's
back
been
the fuck
building
up.
a skating rink out at Burning Man for like 10, 20 years. I don't really know how long. But like to me, it seemed like every single year the skating rink is out there. And you know how amazing it is to roller skate on skates in the middle of the fucking desert? It's the coolest thing ever.
There's a
I thought my
rollers.
dreams had come true. Thank you
The
for reminding me of that tonight.
the okay. First of all, okay, maybe it's the weed or my fucking ass hurting because I've been sitting for like 11 and a half hours. That's real. Oh, my buns are on fire. Um,
This joint did its job.
okay. Burning Man. First of all, Burning Man, okay? Roller skating rink. This guy took him fucking 20 years to build this shit.
No, I'm saying he's been doing it for maybe 20 years.
When
I don't actually know how
he
long he's been
rebuilds
doing
it,
it.
he rebuilds it
It
every year.
is. It's a like a series of boards that somebody like an artist because it's art installation. And the art installation is a roller skating rink out there. What it is he has roller skates in every single size and they're kept in these like wheelie like big like lockers and he hauls those out to the desert every single year and he's got tons of skates in every single size like tons of these lockers and people are good. They don't take the skates, they don't steal them. They just put them right back where they're supposed to go and it's like your job to put your skates back in the right place and like take care of the skates, and like everybody does their part. And when I got there, we like found the skating rink. But, anyways, okay, still, I'm explaining how it's structured together. The rink is a bunch of like big boards, and he puts them all together and creates like a skating rink out there. So it does have a few like grooves in it. So you got to be like watching what you're doing or the groove will get you. Just like being an idiot. Ooh.
Ooh.
But my friend Cynthia, like she wouldn't put the skates on. She was like, oh no. She's like, I'll fall and hurt myself. She's like, I'm way too fucked up for that. And I was like, I'm not passing up skating in the desert. So see you in a minute.
this this conversation has taken wow, we've gone through the merry-go-round, honey.
I'm
Woo!
really high. Now I had the idea of what if we became a traveling skating rink? But then I was like, oh yeah, you really do have to figure out the legal aspects of that.
I ain't got no time. I got no time.
No, this is like once we became like rich and famous, you could just be like the roller skate DJ.
I am rich and famous. In my bed when I'm sleeping. Because I ain't awake to see it. It's there. Just can't see it. No, I'm kidding. Ooh. I can't top it's like funny because I can't really top that. Like roller skating in the desert is kind of like a perfect scene. Like I love nature. I've gone hiking several times. Um, I think one of the coolest times I ever went hiking. I was with my dad, That's weird. My dad hiking. Shit, I'm remembering shit. Oh fuck. Um. Anyway, we went up to like to the woods, and like there was this really great trail, and then when you get up to a certain peaks, you had the two mountain peaks. Like there's the like a it's like a big piece out of the mountain, and there was this piece on that side and that one, and then there was a little place for us to stand, like right in between those. It's just like a sheet, like imagine like a wall, like a thick wall of the mountain that came up, and then you look like peered out from that place you can actually stand, and you can see like the river, and the sun was going down, and you could like see the whole river is being painted with purples and pinks and corals and white, and like there's like a little boat, serious, like a little boat, and it was just you know kind of floating by, and you could just like picture this scene with the mountains and the sun and the burst of colors. What I realized in that moment is we we yearn for nature, and this like happened like 6 years ago, but I can still remember it. I remember that there's a part of us that deeply is connected to this earth, even though we don't give a fuck about it because we don't care about Earth. Come on, humans have been very destructive. But there is a deep part of us.
Yeah, we're just taught a different way recently, you know, like we're not really taught, I don't think, to like care. Like it's not in our culture because we have such convenience and just, you know, and we have a lot of different type of struggle, but I agree with you. Like we are connected to nature, we yearn for nature. Like I just went camping not too long ago and I told you I had like a panic attack like in the after I went and saw I went to Convict Lake in the Sierra Nevada mountains and it was just like some of the highest mountains in California. And it was so beautiful that I believe what happened is that in my mind, I hit like a high that was like I was so glorified. Like I was just like, holy, like my eyes were blown out of my mind. And I was just like, this is beautiful. And I think like I hit like an emotional peak of joy and happiness and like being just like at awe with how glorious it was. Like I was just like, whoa. And I felt just amazing the entire time I was there. And then when I came back, I just felt terrible. Like I just hit this all time low. And I think it's because like that experience just sucked everything out of me, or it was just so different from what I've been struggling with and dealing with here. You know, just being trapped in the car, just being trapped at the office, just being trapped at home, like just going through the same thing over and over and over again, which I'm sure we can all relate with.
If you want to have
Uh,
this,
you
if you want
know,
to have, if you want to have this conversation, I can have this conversation. But I'll be very honest with you. Like when it comes to the 9 to 5 and all that shit, I feel for some people it has a very small impact, but I feel for other people it has a very big impact. It's very controlling. It's very controlling.
oh, I have a really interesting relationship with the 9 to 5. I know a lot about your relationship with the 9 to 5. I ran from the 9 to 5 like my whole life after high school for the past like 10 years and then got sucked back into it in the past 2 years just out of needing stability, you know? So to me, I definitely do feel like I got like, I don't know, like I had no choice, you know? Like, this is what I have to do. And that is a kind of suffocating feeling. Like it can damper my joy. It can kind of put a cloud on things for me. And I do miss the feeling of getting to do my art. Like I got to work on a K-pop music video this weekend and I did what I love. Like that. Oh my God, absolutely loved it. And I was just like on fire all weekend long. And I'd go back the next day. And I loved doing that full time. It was so cool meeting new people every day, having different challenges every day, being in interesting new locations, like collaborating with other artists. Like, God damn.
We live in a society which you can run from it, but you can't hide from it. And it's the reality of we have to work every freaking second to survive. I said this on the podcast when we had actually Corby. We'll talk about this later. I had a guest on Saturday. People 40 years ago, this was kind of the end, they lived a very different work life. There used to be this idea, this is crazy. There was a time where you had what was called a long weekend. So if you decided, you leave early from work at Friday, it's just common. And you come back to work on Monday. A lot of people don't have this. Like, I know that sounds like we have like today, but think about this. People had the option back then to control their hours, control when they worked. And that was taken away. We've reached the point where if you want to be successful, you got to work 70 hours. You got to work 6. I work a week altogether. I've calculated this. I work 73 hours a week.
Well, I think a lot of times people fear taking time off because it might, they fear getting fired or taking the possibility of appearing as though they're not dedicated to their job, and then they worry that might affect their job. Like I never took time off my studio job, and that was a freelance job that I loved, where I got to do my art, where we're talking about like we wish we had that, but I still felt that pressure where if I took one day off, they'd replace me. Like I just felt like maybe even they'd love the person that I brought in, and they'd pick that person or something. It's just hard. Don't leave me alone, David. You can't leave me alone on the podcast. I don't know how to talk to people on my own. It's like you left me alone at the lunch table or something. It's just terrible. Oh God, he's coming back. Okay, he's back.
What?
I just pulled like a Garth from Wayne's World.
No,
Have you ever seen where Wayne leaves Garth alone on the Wayne and Garth show? And Garth's like, like he just
I know that look.
You don't know? It's like, okay, the whole joke is that like Garth doesn't know how to host alone without Wayne.
Honey, I can't fucking host if I was alone. I'll be like a fucking 5-year-old being like,
whatever. You've done whole podcasts alone.
I have done.
You've recorded whole things alone.
By the way, it's really crazy how hard it is to do a solo episode because you have no one to talk back with. And one thing I've learned to do is just add in words that don't fucking make any sense to just be able to continue and be like, did you know also, and furthermore, and it began, you just add in shit. You have to.
Yeah. I feel like if I wrote it out ahead of time, maybe I could do it. I remember in speech class, they like made us go up and just talk for 45 minutes. Jesus. And it was really hard at first. And then once I got going, like I just tried to talk about something that I was interested in or whatever, then it was okay. but it's not that easy. Like I'm also doing a little bit better now than I was at the beginning of the podcast, like this podcast episode.
I mean, like that was a like you see, like this is a thing, and when you see people that have been doing podcasting for several years, you're able to have that really great dynamic. And I've been doing this for a year plus. Um, it's crazy. Next year in March, it's gonna be 2 years. For almost to 2 years. Woo! Crazy.
That means that it took us like 2 years to like legit like make like our podcast.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Lost in the Groove. Because like today is like the first official, just you and I making Lost in the Groove.
Hence the name. Hence the name of the episode, which we actually came up with, which was One Day at a Time. And it's actually the title of a very famous sitcom, but it's not relevant. It's probably what's going to happen when you have people coming over. They're like, one day at a time. Oh shit! This is just a bunch of rando people being stoned and cursing. Oh no! But we don't care. It's one day at a time, and it's true. It's so so fucking important. Just taking things one day at a time. I love that.
Oh my God, one thing at a time.
One day at a time, honey. One day.
Sure, I know, but like even smaller than that, like one moment at a time. Like, oh.
I'm not changing it to a moment. That's way too many characters.
Moment.
It's too many. God, we're not going to go on off to problems with the English alphabet because that is a very boring conversation.
I don't know. I was just thinking about how there aren't very many letters. That was a stony thought that I had yesterday. I had a lot of time to think yesterday.
About the title?
No, I was just thinking like, there really aren't that many letters in the alphabet. Like, there's not a lot of options. I think I was trying to rhyme something. Like I was like writing something and I was trying to rhyme and I was like, there are not a lot of options for that.
So funny enough, you know this. I speak Hebrew and I can actually read Hebrew letters. And it's kind of weird because I put this in my stoned email I sent out to Joe Rogan. Okay, I've done this shit before. Like I just send out random emails when I'm stoned and I like have like this confidence like boost. But anyway, in the Hebrew alphabet, you have the letters or numbers. So Aleph is Ahad. So Aleph, which is a letter, Ahad means one. Then you have Bet, which is the next letter, and Bet is Stein. Stein means two. So the letters.
Is it always numbers. This way?
There are other languages like this, but
does this make math easier?
Sometimes, but it's also kind of they do use numbers in Israel, but they also still use the letter system. So like you'll sometimes see on a page, you'll see Hebrew letters on the bottom. You'll see this in certain like Jewish text. There'll be those letters, but those represent numbers.
Yeah, we do it a little bit in the English language. Like I feel like, sometimes you'll see A, B, and C used as like, first section, second, and third section. But like I see it sometimes.
But that's different though, because like in the case,
it's totally different. Yeah.
It's completely different. Yeah.
Wow. But relatable.
Yes. We're having we shoo. Yeah.
You think anybody cares?
No, probably nobody cares.
Why not? No, I feel like with the podcast, it's like just listen as long as you want. I'm like, if we make the podcast too long, is it like too much of a commitment for people?
Yeah. I mean, like the reality with podcasts is majority of people are probably going to stick around for. Sorry. Oof.
Get some water already.
I got some tonic. Quiet.
Is it the weed?
Yeah, probably. And the smoking. Adult problems and addiction problems. And again, not on psych meds. Okay. Yeah. Making this clear.
People will be
right?
like, maybe you should. Are you ready for the internet hate? Have you gotten any yet? I have.
I love
I
it.
hardly even have a fucking
Bring it.
podcast.
Bring your internet hate. Bring it on. I'm ready.
Ugh.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I
I'm
heard
fucking
that
ready.
Zac Efron fell and broke his jaw, and the internet is like talking about how terrible he looks. And the internet is just savage.
So what? I mean, you know, like I've heard this before. I've seen this.
He looks great, by the way.
He does.
But sorry, go on.
Cyberbullying is so bad, like the point that like we've gotten a lot of hate comments and I've been turned down from being on other podcasts because of what I do. Um and I've talked about this like before, is if this ever like blew up, we could be canceled. There is a shot of that happening, and I like it's just a
Why? Why
reality.
would we be canceled, David? What would be cancel worthy
honey,
about what we do?
honey, there's a lot of things like on this segment and the other segment. There's shit that we do. And the thing is, I'm not an offensive person. The things that I'm saying comes from, you know, my personal place and from my own open thinking. And, you know, certain things I'm close to, but the problem is we live in a society that's very defensive and very quick to action. They don't want to hear the whole picture. They just want to hear that one piece, attack it, and go for it.
Do you plan on telling all the secrets on the podcast?
Honey,
Exposing the truth
I've said a lot of shit on this podcast.
already?
Oh yeah. About
But
myself.
on I guess, do you consider this the same Lost in the Groove as it always has been?
No. I mean, we used to stick to um like you know episodic basis, and then you know we switched over to a
Which we're
different.
gonna do a little bit of. Sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna keep things like more in the rhythm. Like I mentioned, like before, we're gonna have two solid episodes, one on Harvey Milk, and then we're gonna do another one on Freddie Mercury, and then in December we're gonna do the John Lennon tribute episode that I did, like I did last year, which was actually a solo episode. Surprise! That was the other one last year. Um,
Can I do my Ghost of John Lennon? Like if I put it
ooh,
together?
that would be
You're
fun.
supposed to ask me questions. Like I come down and you like, okay, and then I like do my John Lennon voice. I'm gonna work on it. I'll have to work on it. And can we just do it for like maybe like 2 or 3 minutes? Because he's supposed to be kind of like the voice of God, but it's the voice of John Lennon. So it's like you're supposed to ask him like the secret of life, or like ask him like, like what happened, or like, just like ask him questions as if you would like God.
Okay. Um, I don't know yet, like schedule wise yet. With the Freddie Mercury episode, I think it's either going to be with you and I or
No answer.
Eli. I'm not. I'm not sure. We have no. We're gonna. We'll still figure it out. But anyway, if we do the Freddie Mercury episode, we are putting on Live Aid on this fucking podcast for good like 2 minutes, and we are gonna scream, "We are the champions." Okay, we're gonna sing our fucking hearts out to "We are the champions." Okay, and I say this jokingly, but I say this also seriously. Like, my goal and intention, and I feel like this kind of ties in with the both of us, is we want to create an environment that is give no fucks, take no shits, be yourself, and get out of your head. You know, just live the best life. Don't don't fucking give up.
Yeah. Uh, life so hard.
That's reminding me of I just died in your arms
Arms
tonight.
tonight. Yeah. Are we allowed to just like play a song? Like, is that illegal in podcast world? The songs belong to other people, I'm sure.
We can put on like Live Aid and stuff like that. Like we can put on like performances and stuff, and that's not a problem.
Oh,
Um,
so you can play live music.
you could play live music. I use sometimes like for like TikTok videos, I'll use like content music that I can share on different platforms. I can share it on YouTube and stuff, and like it won't get banned because like it they have a claim that allows me to use it in different places. So I like doing that too. And you also, best part about it too, you get to use music from small creators. They don't have like a large. There was like somebody that like had a synthesizer and maybe had a bass guitar or something and just put something together, or like, a whole like studio. I love that.
I want you to play one of your songs one time because that's like totally something that you and I would do on the phone.
Yeah, I know. I've done that. I've done that before. My guitar is currently up.
You don't have to do it right now.
No, I'm not gonna do it right now.
No, not right now.
No, I've run at it. Like I've pulled off these headphones way too many times on this episode.
Yeah, you left me alone.
Yes. If anybody, ooh, can you imagine if somebody was like a real, okay, if somebody actually like makes it to here, which by the way, thank you if you've made it this far. Um, if you
If
know,
you've made it this far.
if you know how many times we've stepped out, I'm actually like curious, how many times did we step out while recording?
Well, you legit like left me and I think had to like entertain my dog or like grab a cup to like ash my
Ash.
joint into.
Ooh, joined.
Ash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I mean I didn't leave as long as you did. I still kept my headphones on. I've never taken my headphones off, sir.
Mm.
Oh. Just so you know, he's smoking a bong. Is that a bong?
Yes, I can't show it because this is going to be on YouTube, but
Oh, are we not allowed to show bongs on YouTube?
no.
Can I show my vape pen on YouTube?
Yeah. Oh, that's
Are
very
we
problem.
putting this on YouTube?
Of course we are, honey. It's going on our YouTube channel. This is I will tell you this, like there was a girl that I go with to school, and like she inspired me to do this. Um she inspired me to be more social, and like I'm like telling you, we're active on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Like we're on all those platforms, and I have like content going on like every single week, like every single day. And we have a really good we have a really good handle. Sorry, it's just Lost in the Groove Pod. It's Lost in the Groove Pod. Use that handle anywhere, and you'll find us.
So you still kind of think of it as like Lost in the Groove as like the big name. And that Peace of Mind is like a part of Lost in the Groove.
So, yeah, like I mean, I don't know if we've ever talked about, like, one of my goals eventually is to create a podcast network called Lost in the Groove. And then we have all the different segments like Peace of Mind, like Lost in the Groove, like the main channel, and other, like, getting other content creators on it. And like that is a
So
goal.
what would ours be called?
Lost in the Groove.
Yeah, but me and you, that's the big name.
Yeah, but that's still still a segment. You could do that.
It's okay, so it's both Lost in the Groove segment and Lost in the Groove is the big name.
Yes.
So, okay. Yeah. That's the main, like, that's the Lost in the Groove one. And then there's more segments too.
Yeah. So, piece of, if anybody's wondering, and again, anyone that's gotten this far, God bless you.
I feel like we should have put this at the beginning.
Yeah, we definitely should have put this, like the
We
first 10 seconds, be like, all right, people that made it to 10 seconds, we love you. Um, so Peace of Mind is a segment I do with Eli Nuret. She is a content and creator. She makes props for television as well as film. Um, but we do a segment that primarily focuses on the individual in society and culture. So we've done con- um, conversations such as cancel culture, free speech, talked about Jeffrey Dahmer. Um, we've talked about, phew, there's a lot of stuff that we talked about. Anyway, we've had quite a few episodes, but anyway, that's what Peace of Mind is now. So this segment, which was originally, like we said earlier, which was our idea 2 years ago, was to create a society and culture podcast around this idea of a conversation. Um, and then this is like what it primarily turned into is a conversation with different perspectives and different views with an unscripted and unedited environment. Hence, stoners and burners having a great conversation.
Yeah, that's like you put that really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly what we wanted was like a freestyle, just like stoner,
And burners, like,
but like a place for conversation
yeah.
about like kind of things that are more on like the artistic side, but things that are kind of strange, kind of groovy, you know? And it's like that moment where you go get lost in groovy shit. So we're gonna talk about groovy shit like roller skating in the desert and like, just like weird art that we've been working on. Like what have you been working on recently? You're always drawing like weird freaky eyeballs and like you got some project for like an artist or you like made their
Yeah, let
cover
me,
work. Like
I'm gonna
it's cool.
see
I
if
love David's artwork.
I'm being really professional right now. I got my iPad that I'm pulling up over here, trying to make this work. So I'm actually one of those artists that signed up to digital artwork. And I know primarily like straight off the bat, a lot of our listeners are probably going to be some form of artist. I've already seen this. Um, so like any of you content creators, I mean, like serious, like people are even like designing jewelry. Um, iPads. I'm serious. Like just get like the magic pencil. I know it's expensive, but like once you get used to it and use a matte screen, um, protector screen, matte. You need the matte protector screen so you can actually draw. Let me pull. Sorry, I'm all over the place. This is
You
a
should be sorry.
yes. This is a recent piece that I'm working on. Let me share this too.
Next episode, I'm gonna clean my kitchen.
Ooh,
Like before the
sexy.
episode.
Yes.
No, I'm just saying my place won't look like this.
My place
When
won't
should
look.
we do the next episode?
Um,
Next Tuesday?
probably we could do it next week. Um,
Can we do it same time next week?
yes. Let's get this
I have
up.
to take Louis to the vet next week.
I know I gotta get Twixie. I gotta get Twixie shots taken care of. You know, it's crazy. Like
We're pet lovers.
we're talking right now, like as if people know our conversation. Um, so Karissa, she has a pug. His name is Louis. Um, I have a cat. Her name is Twix. Okay. And we're talking about our pets. That was the conversation. I don't know what I pointed to this. Anyway, so
He's so cool.
this is the newest piece that I've made. I haven't finished coloring it in
He's
yet.
kind of hot.
My idea, I know this is gonna sound weird. My idea for this was fried chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but I see these like chicken wings.
Fried chicken.
They're not wings, they're legs.
Their legs, yeah. And kind of like a little like funk and a little bit of grooves. You got like the goatee. See like the goatee in the front?
Yeah, this man is trouble. He's
Yes.
got chicken for eyes.
That's my art, you know? Like trying to see if I have
Hey, I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying this man is trouble. He
trouble.
looks like too much of a good time.
Let me see what
His
else.
eyes are appetizing.
Yes.
I suddenly feel hungry.
Yes. Yes. Darling. Baby.
There,
Um,
there. That was one of the voices.
okay, so funny enough, actually, I can do some David Bowie songs. And I can actually do some Elvis songs. I I'm not a great singer, but when it comes to mimicking some voices, I kind of have a little bit of a knack. And if you don't believe me, let me prove it to you. For any Israelis out there, hello. Er, my name is David. I'm from ישראל. איך קוראים לזה באנגלית? בתל אביב. I love America, but there no money, you know? America have no money. Yeah, cussing. See? You could use Israeli accent. Beautifully.
That's
Uh,
so awful.
I'm not being racist because,
Like,
hey, I'm Jewish and I got Israeli family. So, love you all out there. Now we have a little bit of Israeli fans. Shalom, ma kore. That means hello, how are you? In English. Why am I doing this? I don't know.
I like it. Okay, here, I wanted to play a song.
Oh, gotta be careful though. What are we playing?
You said I can play live songs, right?
Oh, are you gonna share the screen?
Well, I
Gonna
don't
share
know
it?
how to do it, so I was gonna send you a link.
Oh, let me grab it. Yeah, I got it. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
I don't know. What do you think? You want to chill
ooh,
out and just watch it for a
ooh,
minute?
yeah, ooh. I
I
don't
might
know
roll
why.
another joint.
I don't know why I'm making these noises. I apologize.
I've never seen it before. And you said we could play live things, right? He looks kind of hot, doesn't he? He's got just like this simple suit on. He's in that
Hold
kind
on,
of
hold on,
like
hold on, hold on.
I'm
All
happy
right,
to be alive phase.
all
Like
right.
I'm
Let's
sobery, you know?
let's get our viewers to be able to see this. Hold on, let me pull. Where is the?
What we're talking about is that I have found a David Bowie song that I feel will be very uplifting. By the way, I just want to complain and say that a lot of people are going to see Elton John and that I am not one of them. And I almost today was like, oh, I don't care how much it costs. I'm buying a fucking ticket.
We actually
Like, I'll
talked
never
about
regret
this.
it. Huh?
We talked about this, and the problem was, um, the cheapest
Yeah, we wanted to go
tickets.
to Elton John together.
Yeah, and like the problem was is that he's charging $500. Okay, and Al
And that
Yankovic.
was back when they first came out. So they're probably even more now. But honest to God, I wish I fucking bought one.
Okay,
Like, honestly,
but
I
listen.
regret it now.
Okay, but listen. Al Yankovic, when I missed his concert, which I wish I didn't, but I missed it anyway. He had a concert here in Florida. Do you know how much the cheapest ticket at his concert was? $64. Okay. The most expensive ticket was like, like kind of like in between, like we're not talking about VIP. That's like already like, $700-800. It was like $300. Okay. Al Yankovic. Okay, I get it. He's a comedian, singer. You're comparing it to Elton John. I'm making that point because like there's the most recent concert I had out here that I can think of. But anyway, should we play the David Bowie? Let's play the David
They
Bowie
charge
video.
too much for tickets in LA to go to things. It's so hard for a normal working person.
Ooh, play this.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna roll a joint while we watch this.
Okay.
I love you, David.
Love you too, honey.
Woo!
Woo!
How you doing, huh?
Yeah!
Doing good?
Yeah!
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss him.
How about you, my baby? How are you
It's
doing?
that hair,
Doc?
honey. Woo!
My baby.
Smile. Smile,
Smile.
daddy.
Yes.
Is that like the grossest
Yeah.
thing when people say that? Oh, come to me, daddy, baby. This daddy shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been watching too much. What's that, cat? Did you say something? I've been watching too much television. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Okay,
Forget
so what's
about
gonna
it.
happen? You're still okay for time, right?
It was so nice to see him happy.
Well, this was my idea. So we're going to do another couple of songs, right? Then we'll take a very, very short break. And then we'll come back and do the Low album for you, if you want.
Woo!
You okay
One of my
out there
favorite
with that?
albums.
Low?
I have it on vinyl.
Thank God you know it. We could have been started. And then we'll do some more songs after that, you know. So this could, I'm not joking,
I wish
this
I
could
went.
be really long. So if you like,
I know.
if you didn't make any arrangements for getting home, I've got a fairly big motor outside, so I can get some of you back, yeah? You know, like 2 or 3.
Woo!
Ooh.
Okay, no, it's
Looks great in his suit. Look at him.
Naughty Bowie.
Anybody watching should check this out on YouTube, on our YouTube channel.
He wants to make the crowd feel sexy.
I'll drink all the time. 'Cause I love
Rivers is a fact.
He did the teeth thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I love
Rivers. You feel like you're there. I don't know.
We'll keep us together.
Together.
We can beat them
Never, never.
Ever and ever.
heroes.
Just for one day.
What you say, I say. Well, I wish I could swim like dolphin. Like a dolphin can't swim. Oh, nothing will drive them away. We can beat them forever and ever. We could be heroes just for one day. What you say? I said. I would be king, and you
Ooh.
would be my queen.
Sing, Billy, sing.
That keep us together. We could be them forever and ever.
I know it. Aww.
One day. I can't remember standing by the wall, and the girls, the gunshot above our heads.
so talented.
There's only one David Bowie. Kind of sad. It's kind of sad how all it takes is cancer.
Cancer's hurting a lot of people, man.
Yes, it has.
I just love that song, and I love the David Bowie version. And it won't let us, it wants us to watch like live stuff, which is kind of fun.
No, I mean, it's just like,
Aww.
I've spoken about this before. There are the three parts that make me as an artist. The three
Two things at once.
Nico in the room.
You said it as an artist, the two things.
No, there's three things. The three elements that make the trois. The three things are John Lennon, David Bowie, and Freddie Mercury. I take three parts of those people, and I know there's going to be people that are going to be like, "Oh, they were shitty." I know they were shitty people, but we're humans. We make mistakes, and
You love their art.
yes, I do. Whew.
Just for one day.
Wow, this has been an episode.
Yeah, we podcasted.
Yeah, and we also had a live show for you, for David Bowie. Whoever, probably the last person. We love you. We really do. I don't know what your name is. Please let us know your name. I really, really want to know who you are. We can maybe grab a coffee sometime.
It's the only person that comments and says, like, I made it to the end. Because you'd have to know, you'd have to make it to the end to know that we want you to tell us that you made it to the end.
I really I know it's hard, but I really want to get people to comment and be a part. We can eventually do a live version of this just on our phones and just be on our computers, and we can do this live. But I just I want to. I don't know. I don't
know. Is there a way to YouTube live it? Or
yeah, we could do YouTube live. I mean, we do it on our phones.
Could do this same thing that we do now, but live. It'd be cool.
Yeah, we just use our phones. I
don't see why not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same as just recording it.
It really yeah. But anyway, it's getting late.
Yes, time to go.
Time to go. We love y'all. Thank you so much. We'll catch y'all on the next groovy episode of Lost in the Karissa.
Lost in the Groove.
Yeah, baby. All right. See you guys. Bye, everybody.